We were a love song. That's the expectation, soft, sweet, predictable. But here's the shock, love songs aren't always about romance. They can be about blood, duty, and bonds that cannot be broken. And here is the snapback. The truest love song in Spain today is not sung by lovers but by two sisters. Princess Leonor and Princess Sofia. The story of Leonor of Spain begins as any royal tale might. A child born into destiny, her name etched into the future before she could even speak. The newspapers called her the heir, the future queen. The nation called her hope. But Sofia never called her any of that. To her, Leonor was simply, my sister. And that is where the music begins. We were a love song. Not written in notes, but in glances, gestures, and in spoken words. The palace halls of Zarzuela carried the sound of their footsteps, their laughter, their secrets. Behind the heavy doors where history weighed like stone, there lived two girls who reminded each other that crowns are heavy, but hands can lighten the load. But a song has tension. Leonor was destined for the crown. Sofia was destined for the shadow. One carries the weight of Spain's monarchy, the other carries the quiet role of support. And yet, when you look closer, you see the truth. A crown cannot shine without the harmony behind it. And Sofia became that harmony, the echo that gave Leonor's melody strength. Spain saw this bond in glimpses. When Leonor, barely 13, stood tall to read the Constitution aloud, her voice was steady, her hands calm. The world saw the heir. But Sofia saw her sister trembling beneath the weight of history. And so, she smiled, an unspoken chorus that steadied Leonor's song. This is the curiosity that keeps unfolding. What is it like to grow up as sisters when your family is not just your own, but belongs to a nation? What does love look like when the eyes of millions are watching, waiting, judging? And how do two young women write their own story when centuries have already tried to write it for them? To answer this, you must know Spain. Spain is a land of passion, rhythm, fire. Its history beats loud with kings, queens, revolutions, and rebirth. It has seen monarchies crumble and rise again. So when Leonor was born, she was not just a child. She was a gamble. Could Spain believe again in a royal future? And if it could, what would that future sound like? The answer, perhaps, was not in Leonor alone, but in Sofia. Because royalty is not about one figure standing above the rest. It is about the ties that hold them steady. It is about love. And love, here, was not a romance, but a sisterhood. The kind that outlasts protocol. The kind that makes every trial bearable. Think of their parents. King Felipe VI, steady, dignified, burdened with the task of restoring honor after years of scandal. Queen Letizia, fierce, disciplined, once an outsider, now the mother of the future queen. They knew the world would test their daughters. But they also knew the daughters had each other. A love song hidden behind palace walls. Look closer at the photographs. Leonor and Sofia, walking hand in hand. At ceremonies, when tradition pressed like armor, their bond was the only thing unscripted. In smiles too quick to fake, in touches too natural to hide, their love spoke louder than speeches. Spain did not just see heirs to a crown. It saw sisters who reminded each other what it meant to be human. As Leonor grew, duty began to demand more. Military training, public appearances, the shadow of the crown looming closer with each step. And Sofia, she did not step back. She stepped alongside, not demanding the spotlight, not fighting the inevitable. Instead, she became the anchor, the quiet rhythm that made Leonor's march bearable. We were a love song. Not soft, not fragile, but strong, enduring, eternal. Because what is a queen without someone to remind her that before duty, she is a daughter, a sister, a girl who once laughed in palace corridors? Spain began to see it. Leonor, no longer a child, but a woman stepping into command. Boots laced tight, shoulders squared, eyes forward. And Sofia, watching with pride, her presence reminding the nation that Leonor does not walk alone. This was not just monarchy reborn. It was family made visible. The people asked, is this what we wanted from a crown? And the answer whispered back, yes. Because what Spain wanted was not perfection. It was sincerity. And in Leonor and Sofia, they saw it. Real sisters, real love, in the midst of real duty. The melody grew louder. Beyond Spain, the world began to notice. In Denmark, in the UK, in the US, where royal families are scrutinized, dramatized, even idolized, the story of Leonor and Sofia felt different. Less performance, more truth, less scandal, more song. And so the refrain echoes. We were a love song. One sister crowned in expectation, the other crowned in devotion. One carrying the monarchy, the other carrying the weight of keeping her human. Together, they are Spain's heartbeat. Together, they are unskippable. So listen closely. In the quiet moments behind palace gates, there are two voices singing softly. Not to the world, but to each other. One destined to reign. One destined to remind her why reigning matters. We were a love song. And once you hear it, you will never forget it. Would you like me to expand this into timed chapter sections, 6 to 7 minutes each, so it runs the full 39 minutes smoothly, with natural pacing cues for a voiceover?